friends, it's Monday. Right? Today's Monday, right? Carry the one. Yeah, today's Monday. So you guys, I'm in Florida, and usually on the weekends, every afternoon in the summertime in Florida, it rains, and it did not this weekend, and it was beautiful. So I got to spend so much time out in the sun, and it was awesome and amazing. So hey, let me know if any of you know about this, and I want to post this on my stories too. Do you know how, like, when you get water in your ear and it sounds like your ear is clogged, like it sounds like you're holding your finger over your ear? Every once in a while, my ear gets clogged up, like there's water in it, and then I have to talk louder, but I can hear myself. Like it sounds like there's water in my ear. Anyways, like it does that for it's been doing it for months and months. Is that ear wax or what? And I don't shove like Q-tips in my ear, because I was always taught don't put anything smaller than an elbow in your ear because it's dangerous. But everyone else is just get a Q-tip and dig it out. And I'm like, no, my luck, I'd stab my brain or something and bleed out. It would be wild. Hi in Texas. Hi everybody. Hi my friends. Hey Lynn. Hey Cindy. It's good to see you guys. Hey Naomi. I usually carry the two. Excuse me. Yeah, so anyways, my ear does that. So do I need to get them cleaned out at the doctor? They got to take that. Is it allergies? Every once in a while I have to go to the doctor and get a squirty thing where they get all the wax out, and it's gross because I do not jam Q-tips in my ears. I refuse because it hurts. Yes. Okay. So I'm not alone, Casey. Yes, because that's me too. Cindy, I've tried that. I've tried putting the alcohol in my ears, and it just never works. And my ears, I'm just so if you get a drop of water in my ear, it hurts so bad. It's really bad. So I try not to mess with my ears. That's why when I go swimming, I do not splash me, do not anything. Because if you get water in my ears, it will be painful forever and ever. Amen. Hey, Elva in California. Oh my gosh, it's early there, right? 11, 10, 9, 8, that's 3. I still count on my fingers. I'm 40 and I count on my fingers. Don't judge me. You think so? Maybe I should try it again because it's been a while, but I'm so with my ears, I cannot. Anyways, there's new releases today with the Saint. So starting today, the foster care collection is available. It is in, yeah, same. I don't go underwater. Hey, Amy. The foster care collection is available. It's the Angel Illuminator with a new lip and cheek color called Fig. It looks a little bit like this one, and then one of the little quad palettes, but it's a new color, a new one of these. And it's $38, and all the proceeds for it are going to foster care. So if you want to support foster care, or if you just want to try the new little collection, pick it up. It's only $38. It's the bundle saves you $8 or $10 or something. Little hard dots. Oh, so the little hard dots, when you get your makeup, it might have little dots like this. That's just the way the beeswax sets up. And you can, it'll soften when you go to use it. It's just the way the beeswax does the thing. Oh, Nikki, I've seen the ear candles too. Those are weird, but they really do work. Okay, so by the way, this is the Isle palette. You never see me using this one. You usually see me using this big old booger, the 27 palette or something. But this one's really pretty too, and this one's a little bit more it's just one layer. The mirror is bigger, and this one's a harder plastic. And I think it's really pretty. But whenever you do your makeup, if you haven't heard me talk about Scuba Steve, you have to do Scuba Steve. So, Scuba Steve is basically a way to remember where your makeup placement goes. So I'm using the blush and bronzer brush. I'm going to use my main highlight color, and this will cover my whole face, just that makeup, right? So I'm going to tap this kind of all over. I want to get kind of a light to medium coverage. Where is Milton, Florida? I'm a Floridian, and I don't think I've ever heard of Milton. Where is that one at? Huh? I don't know. Maybe it's up there by Alabama. Okay, hold on. Let me dust this on real quick, and then I'll show you Scuba Steve. So if you're new to this makeup or have no idea what this makeup is, I just want to show you how this is, yeah, outside Pensacola. Okay. Yeah, it's outside Pensacola. That's probably why she thought Alabama. So whenever you apply this makeup to your skin, it kind of melts in. It doesn't like create that layer of paint, kind of like a liquid foundation would. It just kind of melts in and does a really pretty job of like making your skin tone a little bit more even. And you just kind of dust it all over, right? See how you can go really, really light? You can add fuller, like if you want a little bit fuller coverage, just add a little bit more and just tap in where you need a little bit fuller coverage. Personally, for me, I do kind of like a medium coverage, but you can do as much or as little as you want. But by the time you add the other colors, you'll see that like you don't need full coverage anymore. You'll see how your face shape kind of changes and evolves as you put on your makeup, and it's really cool. So I'm just dusting on like the main highlight color, which is kind of like what you would call foundation. So this is one way to do it. Usually you'll see me do it in just like one layer where there's just like a couple, like several different shades and they're all in different places, but this is a way to do it too. I tried to change it up so you guys can see. Okay, so this is my main foundation shade. It's not super heavy. It's kind of like a really light to medium coverage, and you just dust that on, okay? So this is just one color. It's not dimensional. It's not anything. It's just one color. You add the dimension with the other colors. So now I'm going to use the lightest shade in my palette to kind of brighten my T-zone. So I just kind of come here, and I think it's fun to do the finger painting because you can kind of see like where everything goes. And this doesn't have to be perfection. Like you can literally do your brightening highlight right here, under the eyes, under the eyes. And it's a really great way to remember like where everything goes. Just straight down the middle, under the eyes, but not in like the bag, okay? If you get your makeup in the bag area, it's gonna like you end up piling too much makeup there, and that's when you see like the texture and stuff. So if you avoid the bag lines and just come down under the bags like I do, I think that you'll get a really pretty blend that way without all the texture. So that's my light colors, and then I'll do my dark colors. So I did my main shade all over, brightening highlight in the center, and then my contour kind of around the edges. So the contour is going to be what creates like the appearance of shadows and give our face a little bit more shape. So this is really cool. After you learn it and after you do it once or twice, you'll be like, holy crap, that's so freaking easy. And then you'll blend it and you'll be like, this looks stupid as crap, dumpster fire, like hashtag leave me alone. And then you'll blend it and you'll be like, well, I'll be damned, she was right. And then you'll feel silly and it'll be fine. And then I take this contour right there. So you have that bright white line. Perfect. That's like your face should look like a crazy pants. Okay. So my lightest color in the middle, my darkest color on the outside, and then you just blend it and it looks crazy. So if you're using a smaller brush, just like squeeze it like this, or you can use a different brush and whatever, but smaller area, smaller brush, right? So I just kind of squeeze this and I just kind of press in my shades. Like you just kind of press them right into your skin, and this will kind of create like the brightness in the center of the face will give you that alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic look, right? So like you'll look a little less dead with the brightness, and you just kind of press in like it's nothing that requires rocket surgery. You know what I mean? Like it looks easier than it looks harder than it actually is. See how the colors just kind of press in together and you create this really beautiful, like, blended dimension, and it's really pretty. And after a few minutes, like, the longer your makeup sits on your skin, the more it gets all blended, and it's so freaking nice. It's so pretty. I need to look alive. My eyes is dry. Cindy, you're so funny. Oh, I forgot to put hold on. If you want a free color match, I'm going to put my number here. Comment match or text me at blah, blah, blah. There we go. Okay, so if you want a free color match, just comment match, or you can just text me and I'll pin that so that you can see that. Okay. So you just press this in, and as your makeup melts into, or as it sits on your skin, it'll just continue to melt in, and you'll get this really, really beautiful finish. So these colors look really scary, but once you press them in, it's freaking gorgeous. Like you don't have to worry about, a lot of people, they see the dark and they immediately go, and start like swirling like it's friggin' Nesquik trying to make chocolate milk. But all you gotta do is press it in. It softens and it melts in, and there's no like cakiness. So even if you're older and you have like lines and wrinkles, it's not gonna cake and crease in those areas and stuff. So don't worry about it. But it looks really intimidating at first because the colors are so literal, right? Like they're so dark and you're like, yeah, that's not gonna work for me. But then you press it in and you just let it melt and it's gorgeous, darling, gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. So the contour shade is like a cool gray ashy color. So it just kind of, it gives the appearance of where like shadows would be, right? So it basically just makes your face look like more structured, like it has more shape than it actually does. So it's kind of, pretending we have cheekbones. You know what I mean? Like the Lord, he kind of forgot my cheekbones, so we just gonna add some. And you just kind of melt it in just by like just lightly pressing. See what I mean? And you don't have to like drag your makeup all around and like tell it where to go. You just apply it where it goes and then press it in. It's real, real nice. And whenever I'm done with my makeup, I like to use this end of my brush, but the brush that you use can make a really big difference in how your makeup applies. So how does it hold up in the outside heat? Oh, that's a good question. So I'm in Florida, in like Satan's butthole, and it's freaking hot. And I do surveillance in a 170-degree car. But even if you sweat, it doesn't sweat off your face. Like it just beads on top and then you can like wipe it off. So even if you're working out, if you're outside, like when I first heard of cream, I was a little sketchy. I was like, I don't know. But then it doesn't, there's no alcohols in it. So it never sets. Like it just sits real pretty on your skin and you don't use very much. So it's really, really nice and it won't do the crazy, like it doesn't melt off or anything. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't melt off and get all weird and in the humidity and everything. Even if it rains, like you're fine. Your face is fine. Okay, so I just pretty much added my main highlight. So when you get a color match from me, you'll get a main highlight. That's like your foundation. And then you'll get a brightening highlight. So your two highlights. One's a foundation, one's a concealer. No, it's not really concealers don't really conceal. I hate that word because it doesn't really conceal anything. But anyways, foundation, concealer, and then contour for like to start creating that shape, right? So that's the dimension that you get. Girl, I'll send you the color match form, or you can just comment match or whatever and it'll send it to you. But I'll send you the color match form. All you do is upload a selfie and I can look at your face and tell you what colors to get. And then you just build your own palette. And by the way, these shades are only $16 a piece. So $16, $16. And then you just build your palette within your budget. It's really cool. And it's really affordable too. Okay, so now we're going to add bronzer. So when I talk about Scuba Steve, right, like when you put on your goggles, that brightness that I put in the center of my face, that's inside the goggles, right? And then that contour I put outside the goggles, right? And then the bronzer kind of goes right where the goggles suction to your face. So contour goes outside, the brightening goes inside, and like the bronzer goes inside, or like in the right where the goggles suction to your face. So if you imagine where goggles would kind of like hold on to your face, that's where you put your bronzer. And it's really cool because it makes it really easy to remember, right? Even though it's a little stupid, but I call him Scuba Steve. So like this is the Scuba Steve method of putting your shades where they go. Do you have to use a setting powder? I don't recommend, I use a setting powder just in my T-zone, just to kind of lock it down, give that like finished blurred look, but you don't have to set, this is not makeup you have to set with setting powder, like, unless you like that really blurred, like powdery finish, which I think a lot of people don't like that anymore. But makeup is your preference, you know. So see the bronzer? That's my goggles. That's my goggles. And then the contour goes outside the goggles and then the brightening goes inside, right? It's a really, really fun way to remember the placement. Like you'll never forget it. And you'll be 100 years from now doing your makeup this way and you'll be like, Scuba Steve. So Scuba Steve is fun. So this is, see the bronzer? The bronzer is like, it has a orangish reddish tone where the contour has like the cool gray ashy tone. So just another way to add dimension, and then it just melts in. This is a really pretty way to add warmth and just kind of create that like kiss from the sun a little bit. So think the high points of your cheeks and the high points of your forehead. And then it just melts in. Do you see what I mean? I think a lot of people seem to be really intimidated by like the blending, but I'm telling you, once you get this makeup, first of all, you'll put on way too much and you'll be like, this is a shit show. And then you'll be like, oh, that was a lot. And then the next time you'll be like, should I use less? And then you'll be like, oh. And then you'll start to see that like this little much goes a very long way and you'll start to learn it. But at first you'll probably put on too much. Most people do. I did. Because we're used to liquid foundation, right? Like we're used to doing like painting our face with our liquid foundation. Anywho, but you'll probably put on way too much and then you'll think you messed it up and then you didn't, I promise. And I use this fluffy end of my brush to just kind of like dust it in. So even though it's a cream makeup, it's not like a wet, gross cream. Like that's all I can think about in the beginning. Like when I heard cream makeup, I was like, ugh. But it's not, it's kind of like a powder, but it's not powdery. Like it's not dry. Do you know what I mean? And it gives you just a really pretty youthful glow. And when you add the different colors that way, it just creates see how it has like the brightening here and then the shape. I have that cool gray, ashy. See how it's enhancing those shadows there and then the warmth from the bronzer. And so with like liquid foundation, you put on your liquid foundation and then you stack all the other shades on top. All of these colors just kind of melt into one another. And there's no alcohol in it, which is, I think, a key reason why any person, like no matter your age, you can wear this makeup because it's hydrating. So like as we get older, we start to lose that hydration. And so the more liquid foundation we put on, it sucks the moisture from your skin to stay like hydrated, like right? There's alcohol in it. So it puts the pigment on your skin and then it evaporates. And then it's just using the hydration from your skin, right? I use the illuminator last. So let me put on my blush real quick. So this is Pink Grapefruit. And these colors look really scary and they look really dark, but you don't use very much because they're really pigmented. So you can really just, like, it'll last you a really long time too. But these colors just kind of melt in also. And so the opacity of this makeup is different than like liquid. So it's going to blend out much more sheer. Hey, Amber, good to see you. Thank you for being here, darling. So whenever you blend this in, like it just melts into your skin and it just gets really, really sheer. And so that's why you don't have to really be scared of the colors because they're not as scary as they appear. Like this one, for instance, this one looks real dark. And that's that color. See how it's not like super crazy? And you think it would be, but it's not. And it's really pretty. And then I top it. That's Royal. And then I top it with this color Sunshine State, my all-time favorite combo. And I've been with Saint 2.5 years. And I didn't touch this color because I was like, yeah, it's too dark. And then I put it on and I was like, I'm real stupid. So there's that. How do the foundations work on older skin? So this makeup for mature skin is, the older you are, the more I recommend this makeup because number one, there's only 11 ingredients. None of them are alcohol. Number two, one of the main ingredients is beeswax, which is actually really good for your skin, really hydrating. The ingredients in this makeup actually lock in moisture. So where we start to lose hydration, we lose moisture as we get older, this makeup is hydrating. And because it's so pigmented, because the opacity is different than like liquid foundation where you're actually painting the surface, this actually is like, it blends out much more sheer. So you need much, much, much less. There's no caking and creasing in the lines and wrinkles. It just melts into your skin. It doesn't like evaporate with alcohol, leaving you with just the pigment. So it just moves with your skin. It doesn't settle, crease, and cake and all of that jazz. I don't have it yet. I couldn't order the new shade until this morning, so I'm waiting for it. But I did the expedited delivery, so I should have it by Wednesday, and then I'll swatch it for you. But it looks similar to this one to me online, so I've never seen it though in person, so I'm excited to see it. Okay, so the illuminator. So I use the Rose Gold Illuminator. These illuminators are really, really pretty. So you could just tap it right on the tops of your cheekbones. Or if you're wearing like a low cut shirt, like put it on your collarbones and be like a little sexy, whatever. I like to do that during the holidays when you're wearing like, you're going to a party, like a holiday party, you're wearing your little black dress. Like that's a great place to put it, is right there on your collarbones. Or even if you're like in the summertime wearing tank tops. So really, really pretty. But see how it just catches a little bit of that glow, but it doesn't, your makeup doesn't feel like anything. Like it doesn't feel wet and weird, and you know what I'm talking about? Like it's gross. There's no SPF. It does have titanium dioxide, but it's not UV protection. So I would use I use SPF as a primer. So I use my SPF 36 as a primer. So I just skip the primer. So when I cleanse my face in the morning and then I moisturize, the next thing I do before my makeup is my SPF and then my makeup right on top of it. So I use my SPF as a primer and it works really well. So I use the Elastin. It's a SPF 36, but if you're going to be like out in the sun a lot, I would use a higher SPF. So I might use, this one is the Skin Better Science, the Tone Smart SPF 75. And then I'll use this one as a base instead. So it just depends, but I'm like SPF into Jesus these days. Super sensitive skin. Oh, that's a good question too. So I actually have a ton of customers who have super sensitive skin and they say they can't wear anything else. I think the reason is because number one, there's no alcohol. Number two, there's beeswax, which is actually really healing for the skin. So I'm not a doctor or a dermatologist, so don't sue me. Like don't talk to your doctor first, obviously, but it's a lot of sensitive skin girlies love it. If you go into my beauty group, it's called Freedom in Beauty VIP on Facebook, and feel free to ask these questions in there. And there's like 12,000 women in there. A lot of them are my customers, and you can ask questions like, hey, does anybody have experience with sensitive skin, and how does this makeup work for you? And they'll answer you. Like this is a really positive, encouraging, uplifting group of women, and they love this makeup, and they'll tell you the honest truth about their experiences. And I think it's just a bunch of women who just, have found their confidence or want to find their confidence, and you'll really love them. They're great. Okay, so I use my main foundation shade, so my main highlight. So when you get a color match from me, it'll say main highlight, brightening highlight, contour, bronzer, illuminator. I'll recommend some lip and cheek colors. This is my my setting powder. I just kind of tap this right here. So my setting powder just kind of sets your makeup, controls the oil, and just creates a little bit of a blurred finish to add a little bit more dimension. I'm not super oily, but when I do get oily, it's mainly in that area. So it's just a great way to set my makeup. And it's not like you don't have to worry about your makeup being like cakey and weird, even on days when you just want to put just a little bit of like zhuzh on your face. Do you know what I mean? Like you want to zhuzh it up a little bit. So I think this makeup is a really great way to do that, because it doesn't have to be super heavy unless you want to build it up. I have very sensitive skin and I've had no reaction to this. Yay! Yay! Thank you for sharing, you guys. I have eczema and everything is super harsh, even chapstick. Yep, chapstick. Did you know the ingredients in chapstick? You have to look it up. I looked it up one time and I was like, wait, that's crazy. Yeah, a lot of my customers that have like lupus or like eczema, psoriasis, or super dry skin, super oily skin, acne prone, any kind of problematic skin, you might have a really good experience. Rosacea, dryness, I'm allergic to several cosmetics and it works for me. It feels like a second skin. Yeah, it doesn't feel heavy or anything, does it, Guadalupe? It's really nice. Like, it just feels really kind of light and airy. Yeah, I use a setting spray. I've been a makeup artist for 15 years, so I believe in a setting spray. I've seen, the women cry, the brides cry at their wedding, and it's bulletproof. So I'm an advocate for a setting spray. If I don't use a setting spray one day, like my makeup is fine. It doesn't go away. But I am an advocate for a setting spray. So there's a couple that I like. Saint's setting spray is good because it has aloe in it. So think like skincare. So it's like hydrating and bulletproofing, which is really, really nice. So I really like Saint's setting spray. Another one I like is the Benefit Professional setting spray, and they're around the same price point. That one's really good, and I like that one, the Benefit one, has like a super, super, super fine mist. It doesn't spit at your face like a camel. But it's, yeah, so whatever setting spray you like, I would use. Like, I think even the drugstore ones are probably fine. Oh, there's my husband. Hi, baby. Hi. Anyways, also, if you want the link to the new foster care collection. So basically every year Sept has we call it a reunion. It's a conference, whatever. And every year it's in a different city. And so every time we go to that city, or whatever city that they're doing the conference in, they find a foster care organization in that city to sponsor or to donate to. And so they come up with a collection such as this one, and they choose their organization. In this case, it's the Atlanta Angels foster care organization. And so they take all the proceeds of their collection that they release and they donate it to this charity, and it's presented to them at our reunion. So they have like this big gala, there's a foster care dinner. And so that's when Sept has this gala in September, that's what we're all going to, is the foster care dinner, the gala, and there's gonna be like an award ceremony and all this stuff. And so really cool. So I think that's really neat. And I didn't realize, I posted about it in my beauty group on Facebook, and I didn't realize how many of you are like active or involved in the foster care system somehow, whether you do work like social services or so whatever, or you're a foster parent or a foster child. There was just so many. I think that's amazing. Yeah, see what I mean? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So so Kara Brooke, the founder of Sept, she is a foster mama, and Sept's organization is called Love is Never Wasted. And there's another organization that they just started called Angels Landing. So there's Love is Never Wasted, which contributes to, which supports children in foster care. And then Angels Landing supports children as they age out of foster care. So it provides support for those kids they're 18, they're out of the foster care system, but they still kind of need that support. And so those two organizations are very close to, Kara's heart. Those are her organizations. And so I think that's really neat. And there's actually 2 of Sept's eyeshadows, which if you want to participate in if you want to contribute to the foster care, the new collection, words are hard, and you want to buy also these 2 eyeshadows, this one called Miha, and then this one called Stay Golden. Both of those, all the proceeds from those benefit foster care too. So the eyeshadows, the proceeds from these will go to Love is Never Wasted, the Love is Never Wasted Foundation, but the foster care collection, the Atlanta Angels collection, will go to the Atlanta Angels foster care organization. Sorry, I can't talk. Anyway, so if you want to contribute to foster care, those 2 shades and the new collection. So if you want a link to the new collection, just let me know and I'll send it over. But really, really pretty. It's going to be the Angel Illuminator. I almost dropped my curling iron. Let me see if I have it here. I know I got it somewhere. This is, I don't have my glasses on. Here it is. So it's this illuminator. You got it. I will send it over to you. So it's this illuminator. This is Angel Illuminator. So kind of like the rose gold that I put on. So it's just a little bit more pink and less rose gold. Really, really pretty. So it's this color and then a new lip and cheek color, which I don't have yet. I'll have it on Wednesday, I think. And then one of a new quad palette like this. So basically it'll look like this with the lip and cheek colors, and then you can, like put your colors in there, or you can use the quad another way, whatever you want to do. So really cool. I think that's really neat. And I'm really excited for the Saint reunion in September because I love the foster care dinner is always the best time because it's like the most heartwarming when you're sitting there and like they present one of those big like cartoon checks, like the big giant like lottery checks to these organizations, and it's just really cool, and it's kind of cool to see. So we always challenge ourselves to raise as much money as possible with those collections. So we're hoping to get a lot of those sold. I think it'll be really fun, and I don't know, it's kind of neat. Usually it's upwards of several $100,000 that they're able to donate to these organizations. So I just think it's really cool. I think it's something neat that they do, and I don't know, I think it's really cool. So kind of interesting. So that organization is called Atlanta Angels Foster Care. So if you want to Google that or look into that, and then join my beauty group, and I have a thing in there that I posted about it where I was talking about like the organization and how you can get the collection or whatever. So if you want to do that. And then if you want to get a free color match for makeup, or you want to buy the collection, but you also want to get your color match, the collection will be available also through September 8th. And then after that, they'll shut it down and they'll take all the money. And then because the next week we'll be in Atlanta. So it'll be really, really cool. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me today. And please get a free color match. Let me know what I can do to help. My number is, you can text me literally anytime. You text me and I can respond and we can chat. So I'm happy to help with whatever you need. So, all right, enjoy your Monday. Bye, guys.